back at the fountain. It's nice spending a little bit of time here in the mornings. I got the sleepy eyes going. Just dropped my daughter off to school, which I do every day, although one more week. And then summer break. So Sunday, I leave for New York to dive into the final week of prep on my next feature film premise, and then we'll be shooting for the next month. Man, this has been a long time coming. I talked a little bit about the beginning of premise when I talked about our attorney Sam and the introductions from him that ultimately led to our partnership with Relic. So I'll just give a little bit more background about premise, and then over the next month, a lot of these vlogs, depending on how many I can do while we're in production, will just sort of chart the production of premise. This premise is a script that I wrote with my partner Justin back in 2012. I came up with the idea in 2012 about a neuroscientist who sort of is jumping through time a little bit. The first weekend in September of 2013, we went up to my cousin's condo up in the mountains and just had a writer's weekend. We went up there with, I think I had 12 pages that I'd kind of written together over the last year. We came down with, I think, 60 pages. So we wrote 60 pages in a weekend. We watched movies, we talked, we got our index cards out. We came down from the mountain, and I said, okay, by September 30th, we got to have a finished draft. And we did. We had draft one, I think, September 30th, 2013. And then spent the next couple years doing redrafts based on notes, based on feedback. 2014, we were prepping to try to make it ourselves in 2015. 6 months of trying to raise the money for this film, I realized this is going to take a long time because this film needs $500,000 to $1 million. It was clear it was going to take a while to come together if we could even do it ourselves. So in that time is when FAIR kind of exploded into being, as I've talked about before. And in that process, we connected with Relic. We made FAIR. We didn't want to do FAIR again with premise, which was like the no-budget DIY version of a feature. We could build on the momentum we had with FAIR, but it was still very limited momentum. We were still kind of nobodies, so we really wanted to partner with a somebody. And Relic was the somebody. They had respect, they had connections in the industry. I had my own personal journey with the script. I wrote it with Justin. I wrote it for me to direct. And Relic had vision to get a more established director on it. And I had to process that, and I was ultimately okay with letting it go. By the time we hooked up with Relic, I was sort of emotionally prepared to not direct premise. But we were still going to be involved and produce it and partner with them, and they, of course, that's what they wanted. So we formed a partnership with them as opposed to just optioning them the script. In the process, the head of Relic, Eric Schultz, really kind of fell in love with the script, and he's an established producer, but he's not a director, but he wants to direct. And he said, hey, what do you think about me directing this? And very gracious about it. He said, look, I won't do it if you're not okay with it, because I know that wasn't the deal. I know you wanted to direct it. We talked about getting a bigger director. But, I'm willing to make a short proof of concept to kind of prove my vision and competency, and I really feel like we can get this made. And I said, okay, let me think about it. Talked to Justin about it and really kind of came to terms with the idea of, all right, if I can't direct this myself, maybe having Eric direct it and Relic really lean into it, really double down on it, is the next best thing because of how much still control and just influence I'd have with the process. I'd still be there helping to guide it along. So we said, okay, let's go for it. You directed, Eric. So there's been a lot of concessions we've had to make, but there's kind of concessions you have to make with every small independent film. My reasoning for really kind of giving Eric my blessing to direct it, that I would maintain a crucial, influential piece of leadership in the project, that's borne true. Although I did not expect that to be a a mixed blessing because, as a project that I created to direct and had vision for, that's changed, as it should. Film is a director's medium, so it's changed to Eric's vision. We're still making the same movie. The movie hasn't changed fundamentally, but the voice of it's changed, as it should. And I've had to help sort of do rewrites and help kind of craft that vision shifting to him. And it's been something I've had to work through. It's just as a writer, as a creative, it's been bittersweet. And I have a lot of faith and confidence in Eric. I think he's going to make an amazing movie. And all of the things that we still want to get out of Premise, big reasons that Justin and I said let's partner with Relic is because the seat at the table we'll get, the market positioning and placement that the film will get, the premiere that the film will likely get, the connections, the agents, the sales reps, all of the things that we'll benefit from by way of our partnership. We still have a lot of confidence in, and if those things sort of pan out, then it would really, our gamble will really pay off. We'll see. You never know. Film could turn out to be above and beyond what any of us hoped. It could be below and beneath what any of us hoped. Such is art. I'm so grateful and excited that I get to be able to do this, that I've got an amazing family who is really behind me and letting me do this. I'm going to be gone for a long time. Thankfully, I won't be away from them the whole time. They're going to come up. I'll see them throughout that month of shooting a few times. So I'm excited to dive into production and have this thing come to life that Justin and I have been sort of talking about for the last 6 years. So I'll be sure to document the process, and we'll do some vlogs with some of the key players. We'll get Eric, we'll get Justin, maybe some of the actors on camera here talking about their own process through filmmaking, failure, and success. So the journey of Premise continues. Stay tuned.